In this video, Somerset's Max Waller explains how to bowl leg spin in white ball cricket. Let's get it.
So obviously got a leg break. Great thing about leg spin bowling is that it's so different for everyone. There's so many different ways to do it, and there's so many guys who've been successful doing it their own way. But traditionally, you're looking at sort of trying to keep your thumb off the ball to maximize spin. But a lot of guys do have some impact with the thumb to try and bit of control. But usually looking pretty 3-finger grip, spinning off the third finger, spin it that way. So I'm looking to bowl a leg break like that, palm facing the batter. So if you're facing me like that, it's looking, so the ball comes up like that, the seam going towards my left shoulder, or away from my left shoulder, but towards the target there. So you're looking to, again, get the ball, right-handed batter, looking to go into the right-handed batter and spin it away, looking to get wickets, caught slip, extra cover. Or in white ball cricket, predominantly I'm looking to get guys going across the line and looking to bring in the deep fielders as well. So Googly actually bowl predominantly Googlies. Googly, you don't try and change the grip too much, potentially use the thumb a little bit more for a bit of control and maybe narrow the grip out, but only fractionally and subconsciously. I don't actively think about, I'm going to bowl this narrow grip. I just kind of maybe use the thumb a fraction more, which naturally makes the grip a little bit narrower. And again, this is looking to go palm away from the batter this time, and I'm looking to spin it off the third finger again, so the ball comes out with rotations into the right-handed batter, like an off spinner. And again, I'm looking to use that as attacking the stumps, trying to deceive the batsman off the pitch. Bowlers like Rashid Khan, Imran Tahir, those guys really bowl just leg break, a small leg break, and Googly, which is their weapon ball, where they're looking to hit the pads, get guys caught on the crease, bowled an LBW. It's a big weapon in white ball cricket for me. Predominantly the best leg spinners at the moment in white ball cricket predominantly use the Googly as their weapon, really. I'd say that's their danger ball because they're looking to hit the stumps. Again, same grip, but looking to flick the ball like a dart, almost like throwing a dart. So the motion's like that. So again, the impact's to the ball spinning backwards and tries to skid on. But actually, because the seam's up, right, generally if it's wobbling a little bit, it can actually deviate either way. So you get that skidding effect. But if it hits the side of the rope, then it sometimes does nip, like a seamer who's trying to get a wobble seam, trying to nip the ball away. So it sometimes does that naturally. But again, looking to spin the ball hard so that when there's lots of revolutions on it, it does generally skid and slide in the air. It's sort of that motion. Again, angle of the seam you can adjust, play with. Again, gets that motion of the ball sliding into the batter and also skiddy off the surface. Because if it hits the shiny side, it's going to skid a bit more. If it hits the rope, the seam, it generally sits in the pitch a little bit longer. And those are two things I use to try and. It's generally like a defensive ball for me. If a guy's looking to come at me, I kind of use it as like keep them at home. Try and stop them using their feet as much, and also if they're trying to sweep, potentially it's a dangerous ball to try and skid under the bat. But again, you want them playing off the back foot with that, like the Googly. I think traditional Googly, like try and bowl through the gate and backspin the same sort of thing. But actually with this ball, I think you want them try and it looks like they're going to have to go back to it, but actually it's fuller than they think. That's where you get them caught on the crease. I use that quite a bit in white ball cricket. Actually, it's a good go-to for me, the Googly and the backspinner there. There's many different ways to bowl a backspinner though. I know these guys that bowl it with the palm facing and they push it out like a slider. That's another way to do it. But for me, that's very comfortable. I don't know, I just like the feel of it. Over time, I used to bowl a slider, again, same sort of thing, but pushing out the front, but it doesn't have as much back on it. And I find that is it comes out a little bit quicker, but it's not as much control as that one. I think I've got more control with that because it's more like putting it there. Again, knuckle balls, it's actually quite hard to hide because it's pretty, you have to set it, for me, I have to set it early, and that's literally, I'm getting my nails in the seam there. But there's ways to do it. You can bowl like that. If you've got big hands, you can rest your knuckles against it. But I just find I get better grip with my fingernails in the seam, and I actually don't have that big of fingernails, but find a way to like get it tucked in. And then you're looking to just slight bit of topspin. So when you go through your action, it actually hasn't got much spin on it at all. So it oscillates in there, and you want that motion where it wobbles down to the batter and just tries to deceive them in the air. I think that's one thing you can practice by throwing it, getting that feeling of just a little bit of topspin. So just pushing it with your fingers like that, and that'll when you do go through your action, obviously, because there's going to be some element of backspin when you go through your whole action. Actually, a little bit of topspin and backspin together, natural backspin together when your arm's going through. Actually, generally, the ball will come out with no revolutions is what you want. Perfect world, and that will oscillate in the air. And I use that a fair bit. If I'm on top of a batter and I feel like I'm going well into the game, I'll use it as a bit of a luxury delivery. I think it was not my go-to, but it's definitely a ball I can play with to a new batter, especially in T20 cricket when you get a bit more leeway with the new batter coming to the crease. So obviously, depending who the batter is, if it's a Kieran Pollard, you might not try it so much. You can hit well from the crease, but to a batter potentially is not as, or it's not looking to dominate from ball one. You can play with those balls. Yeah, from the basics of leg spin bowling, I think the grip's obviously the first and foremost. Spoke about that, getting something that's comfortable. Every grip's different, but that's the basic grip, I'd say, and that's number one priority. Being able to cock your wrist, again, getting that position in your bowling action to start with when you come up. I like a good straight run up, but again, you see lots of different leg spinners coming in from angles. So whatever feels comfortable for you, I think it's a really good thing a good fun thing to do. Play around with leg spin. So whatever feels comfortable in the garden, or if you're a youngster in the garden or playing the nets or whatever, messing around, whatever feels natural to you, whatever feels comfortable to you. I think leg spin's one of those things that you either can or you can't do. I think it's one of those things that it's a natural skill. It's I think I didn't even bowl leg spin for a long time. I was bowling, just messing around in the nets with my brother, and ended up sticking with it because I found out I really enjoyed it and it was something I could do. And then from the grip, it's then shoulders, hips, feet aligned. I think that's crucial for basics. Lining your shoulders up to the target, lining your hips up, and by that I mean everything's in a straight line. So shoulders facing the target. Same with your hips, and same with your same with your hips, and same with your feet. So don't block yourself off and don't be too open. So everything's going in a straight line. And again, completion, so that this shoulder's then facing the target. Should be a straight line again, hips, shoulders, feet. That's just basics of the action. The hips, the shoulders, and the feet are the three things that I think need to be aligned to be able to bowl the ball at a target. And then it's just repetition, and trying to spin the ball hard. Everyone says it. I know all spin coaches around the world. You spin bowler, try and spin the ball. I get a lot of stick. I don't really spin the ball much as a leggy, but actually there is revolutions on the ball, and there's other ways to deceive batsmen. You don't have to bowl a big leg break to show that you're spinning the ball. You can bowl a googly that's got a lot of revolutions on it, or a backspinner that you're spinning hard backwards. Every single ball, try and spin it as hard as you can. That's the main thing about spin bowling, is spinning it. So generally, I've got flatter and flatter over time, just because I played at Taunton. It's small boundaries, and I played T20 cricket predominantly, so batsmen always coming at you. So my generally, I've got flatter and flatter, driving the ball into the surface, trying to do them off the pitch rather than in the air. But again, bowling slower to a new batsman or a different surface. So I'll play away at Hampshire or GS Bowl, which has got big boundaries and it's a slow spinning wicket, then potentially have to bowl slower and try and spin the ball harder. Again, just reading the surface early and trying to see what works best for that surface. But playing at Taunton, I have to bowl quite quickly and try and get it under the bat a lot, and try and beat them off the pitch rather than in the air. Just coming to bowl the field, to be fair, I usually bowl the first over for Somerset, and I'm only usually have two fielders out, and I'm looking to again target the stumps as much as I can, bowl lots of backspinners and googlies, and try and hit the shiny side of the ball so it's skidding on, and trying to target the front pad. I actually got do right in the first over because people look to knock it around. Actually, that's where I can get into the game a little bit. I feel I have a long one and deep mid wicket generally, because I'm looking to run the ball into the right hander. Maybe the fielding I do play with is either have two at point or have a mid wicket in, actually, and try and stop that single as well for the first over. So a short third man, point, cover, mid off, and then have 5 out leg side, 45, square leg up, deep mid wicket in, and a long on, and that would be my generic field to a right hander. Obviously, moving that mid wicket on the one across to the offside, to protect the offside if I feel like that I've sort of dominating the over. If I've gone 4 balls in that over and I'm feeling like the over's only gone for a couple, then I'll potentially impact the offside and protect that a little bit more, depending on the batter as well. Some batters play differently, like sometimes bowling at Aaron Finch and Jason Roy would be different to bowling at a county with two less explosive opening batters. So I don't think the field would change a huge amount, but potentially that mid-wicket might come across to the offside. Trying to read what the batter's trying to do. Obviously, every batter's different, and T20 is quite an unpredictable game. But you can sort of pick up if a guy's strong on the leg side, or he plays a reverse sweep a lot. You potentially move mid-wicket to second point. I actually find guys that sweep and hit down the ground are the hardest to bowl to, because they can hit both. They can hurt you both sides. Actually, guys that are only one-dimensional, I feel like I can control the game a bit better. So it's being aware of the batter you're bowling at, and potentially adjusting your game plan slightly to make it harder for the batter to play it, to execute his game plan. If he's strong in a certain area, potentially take that away from him, and we'll make him do something he doesn't want to do, and that's really important, to try and be step ahead of the batter, especially in T20 cricket. And you get that through playing and experience in those things. But yeah, trying to be one step ahead of the batter is so crucial in T20 cricket, as well as variation.
Hopefully you found that video useful. If you did, please do smash that like button for me, and subscribe to the channel too if you haven't already. Be sure to also check out the full coaching playlist on my channel. There's other masterclasses there focusing on leg spin, so please check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.